you know what? My brain leaves me at 8:27 in the morning. And
Well,
you know what this is? This is, you know what? How about if you talk about this, Dan?
Can
this
I?
is the Spearhead.
Every gardening project that you do involves digging.
Yep.
And the soil is not your best friend unless you have soft, fluffy, marshmallow-like soil, which none of us have. We have clay and rocks and tree limbs and roots and all these other things that we've got to cut through. A regular shovel cannot do it. This is called the Spearhead, and there is nothing else like it in the world. For separating a plant or transplanting plants, it is remarkable. The original shovel that was brought to us, and you'll meet the guest in just a bit, was one of the single best-selling lawn and garden products we had ever offered, and this year they made it even better than ever before. The gentleman's father who invented it is because I can't say the word.
He's a metallurgist.
Thank you.
He's a metallurgist.
Metallurgist.
Yep.
Every time I said it, it made it sound like he was actually allergic to metal. I could never say, welcome
right,
back,
exactly.
Julian. How are you, my friend?
Thank you.
I'm going to let you two talk.
All
I'm going to
righty.
grab a cup of coffee.
You know,
I'll be right
you were
back.
so enthusiastic about it. I had to, give him the opportunity to talk to you about it a little bit. And yes, this is Julian Matthews. So nice to see
Good
you.
to see you.
And your dad created this shovel,
He
right?
did. He was 85 when he came up with this concept, and he was coming back from Florida, as he does in the springtime, and he couldn't dig anymore. He had 2 artificial knees, he has 2 artificial hips. He's had them replaced twice. And so you can imagine it's painful and hard for him to do it. And at 85 years old, it's very hard to do anything. So he said, I'd either have to give up gardening or have to come up with a better way. He came up with the Spearhead Spade, which is the shape that you see here. Now, a regular shovel kind of looks like this. And the problem with a regular shovel is that it's too big, right? It's too wide up in here. So you have too much surface area. It's trying to go through the ground all at once. With this, you have just a little bit going in at first, a little bit more, and as you're going, it's getting wider and wider. Just like a wedge splits wood, this is splitting the ground. These edges are also sharpened from tip to tail. Now, when you first get this, it's not going to be as sharp as you think it should be, because what we do is we sharpen it first, and then we coat it with this epoxy powder coating. You have to use it a few times to reveal that edge that's underneath there.
That's perfect.
So the more you use it, the sharper it will be. But
Let me share with you colors for a second,
Yes.
right? So the pink, these are both advanced order. You're reserving your order. The pink is available for February 19th. So that's when that's going to ship. 29th. I misread that. And this is very, very limited. And then we also have the yellow, and that's going to be shipping in the week of February 10th. And this is brand new this month. As Dan said, it's our January 2016 garden item of the month. Over 15,000 of these have already been reserved, and these are exclusive colors. You can get this home on 2 months of easy pay of $22.46 to try a better mousetrap, frankly. And when you were talking about the surface area, right? It seems to me like we were trying to get a lot more surface area into the ground, and that was using a lot of our strength on a regular shovel.
And people are jumping
and here
up and
we
down
don't
and
have
nothing's
to.
happening, right?
Exactly. Let's put this to the test and show you.
All right. So let me show you a situation. This is a simulated situation where there's a lot of roots, and you're going to be jumping up and down, especially when you're transplanting or separating plants. I'm going to step on this, okay? And get my full weight on this. If you zoom out just a little bit, you can see that I'm standing on the full amount of the shovel, and nothing's happening, right?
Right, yep.
So I'm going to take the Spearhead Spade here.
Sure.
And I'm not going to stand on it. All I'm going to do is, I'm not even hardly pushing. I can just use my arms and go through this stuff.
Yeah. It's so easy because, as we were talking about, you're only like putting into the ground a tiny area.
A tiny bit
and
more.
And that gets wider and wider and wider.
And just like a wedge splits wood, this is splitting the ground. The roots are going to one side or the other. The rocks are going to one side or the other. You have no choice.
I love that we're going to continue to put it to the test, because the reality is obviously if you garden, you're going to have to dig sooner or later. But there are so many other chores that we have around the house that requires a shovel or a spade. And this is just your much easier mousetrap. And does your dad still garden with the knees and the hips?
He does. He's 91 years old now. Now we have 2 layers of weed block. Normally you're going to put this down, and after a couple of years you're going to have to go in and replace your plants. And we've put 2 layers just to make it more difficult for ourselves and show you how easily it goes through this stuff. And all you have to do is push down. You see, I'm not even putting my weight.
Gosh.
It cuts like a knife. So you put your X, put your plants in there.
Look how easy that is.
It's just like, the people tell me it's like butter, and lately they're saying hot butter.
I love the hot butter. It's customer top rated. You can go to QVC.com and read a couple of those reviews. Maybe we can actually get them up. But I want to roll the video again because there were some specific things that you wanted to point out. Isn't that right, Julian?
So it's good about separating and transplanting plants because it cuts so easily and cleanly. In turf, you know how hard it is to get through turf with a regular shovel, right? You can do your edging with this, you can do your slicing, you can do your trimming, you can do tough stuff like moving roses. We had this lady had 25 roses.
Yes.
25 roses. She transplanted very rocky soil. Every single one survived, and she was attributing it to how cleanly and easily it treated the plants. And you're able to do detail work. You're able to do small stuff and not disturb everything around.
Yes.
Yeah, you're able to do large stuff. You're able to go and cut the roots around the bush and then come around and you're going to be able to pop it out.
See, I'm so excited for this because you don't know this, Julian, but I'm a new homeowner. So I didn't ever have my own garden, and now that I do, and a shovel, you're right. You're like, how would you get excited about a shovel? But you will, in the sense of having just shoveled a whole bunch of snow. Having the right tool for the job makes a difference, and you feel so much easier. You're going to go through the rocks?
Yes. So another situation in New England or in a lot of places it's caliche and stuff, a regular shovel has trouble because it's too wide. You're spanning multiple rocks at once and you're pushing on the rocks rather than going through and between them. So I'm going to show you in very slow motion what this does. Because of these angles here, what it's going to do is it wants to go off. It wants to bounce off the rocks. See how it's just gliding off the rocks?
Yeah.
Right. As I do it faster, and I'm not even putting my full weight, you can imagine, it doesn't matter what direction I go. You can see where it's just pushing the rocks away. Like a wedge splits wood, it's pushing away, it's getting in between them, and you're able to get underneath and out.
You know what? You're not the only one who's enthusiastic about this shovel. So we've got more than 300 of these have been picked up. It's a shovel and a spade. As we mentioned, customer top rated. Let me tell you when these are going to ship. The pink is really popular. Don't wait on it. February 29th. That's the ship week for the pink one. And then for the yellow one, we're looking at February 10th. This is new this month because you've reformed, you've kind of you've made some improvements to something that's already beloved. So I love that this is a cushy D-ring handle.
And it's larger than normal because you can get a gloved hand. We have an extra long socket. The first thing to go in a shovel is you're going to break a handle. We don't want you breaking handles. This is extra long. Normally it ends here, and that's why you break them there. Now by supporting it another 3 to 4 inches, you're not going to break in the area most likely to be broken. Beyond that, this is called a pultruded fiberglass. Very strong but very flexible type material.
Nice.
Designed to bend without breaking. Inside it is a northern ash hardwood core. So you have double reinforcement, triple reinforcement.
Cool.
The blade is so hard you cannot sharpen it with a file. You have to use a grinding wheel or you have to use a diamond stone, and you won't have to do that for a very long time. So a very tough tool. So if you have you or yourself have trouble digging because you have clay, you have rocky soil, you have lots of roots.
You have knee replacements.
You have knee replacements
like your dad.
Or you think you need to ask for help to do your garden,
you
no longer need it. This is your new empowerment tool because it allows you to do what you thought you could not do in the past.
And I love that we've got colors. So the pink, don't wait on the pink, February 29th, 2 easy payments of $22.46, and the yellow is February 10th, and 50223. 500 have been spoken for. Busy on the phone lines. You want to stay on the line for that. Automated ordering, QVC.com, or text your order. When this is the January garden item of the month, it means a lot of people are getting the chance to see this. The pink is limited, so make sure that you get the color that you want. I think these colors are great because I can find them wherever I want to in my yard.
That's excellent.
Exactly. So when they're in the grass and they're laying over there, oh, grab that shovel. I see it. It's pink or yellow.
And 100% of the people that have bought these, customers, recommend it to a friend. 100%.
That's
How many?
nice.
Can't get better than that.
Can't get better than that. Thanks, Julian. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And I'm coming up, as I mentioned, Paula Begone. Yes, she's going to be here in 10 minutes. She has the author of